It's been a while since I've seen Unbreakable Doll, Unbreakable Machine Doll. It's been quite some time. I have not seen it. So because it was basically on my mind today, I wanted to watch it again. Basically, this is episode 6, I do believe it is. Yeah, episode 6. I left it episode 5. But so yeah, let's get down talk about this episode. So basically on the last episode, which I pretty much I was definitely kind of yawning on, basically that I was kind of worried of the fact that I didn't think that Yaya was dead or anything like that, because it got me worried. It got me worried there for a second. I was going like, oh man, Yaya's going to die. I was going like, oh man, I don't want to see this really happen, and I just didn't want to see that basically really happen to her. That she would die. I don't think it was not quite a convincing basically that if she really was going to die or not, but it's just really based on something else. One thing I definitely want to talk about. I definitely want to talk about some of the higher ups basically in this academy of the school. Is basically one thing I want to mention is that the woman with the smoke pipe that she smokes from or something like that. One thing I want to mention is that based from her, the way that she's giving all these commands and stuff like that, and just trying to get like, I forgot the name of the Ralph. I think that's his name, Ralph. Where she just kind of forced Ralph into a situation where that she wants Ralph to kill this guy or something like that. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if he's like part of the school or maybe part of something else or something like that. And one thing when I was looking basically at the graduation is that I could see there's a couple few people that look kind of shady basically behind base of the school, and I'm kind of worried that Rafi, oh not Rafi, Raffle, whatever is it, Ralph, or I'll just call him Ralph. I'm just gonna call him Ralph. It just feels to me Ralph is just basically being used as a pawn just to do their billings and stuff like that. And I could just tell by the feel of the faces basically in the anime, based off this episode 6, based off the anime. It's based. I can really can see that there's some people are just basically corrupt and they just don't even care. Now the first one I want to talk about is basically I think it's the basically head of the school. He looks kind of older. He's kind of like an older kind of guy or anything like that. And the reason I'm mentioning about him, I'm pretty sure if I really do not think that he could be one of part of the top villains basically in this anime. I could be right, I could be wrong, because just basically the way he looks and basically the way that he does things and stuff like that. He seems like he's kind of like a shady kind of person that really just wants to do things, just wants to do things like whatever that he wants to do, and means that he just doesn't even care. And especially with the girl with the pipe and stuff like that, she's another shady person also as well too. Because I really do not like her because she gets strict orders to Ralph also as well too. Because one thing I'm not saying I really did not like, base is that I want people to really to understand, because it just seems to me that she's forcing Ralph into a situation where he doesn't want to be in. Now, take us for aspects basically in the military. There's some other different countries that do force their people to do what they're supposed to do. Sometimes that does happen. Sometimes it doesn't happen. Sometimes it just merely not. Take it as for my country in the United States, is that we really don't do that kind of stuff unless if it's something very important that we're supposed to do. Because you have to remember, we in the United States of America go into the military, whether it's Marines, Armies, Navy, whatever it maybe is, or Air Force, whatever it maybe is, that we are volunteers. We're not solely into basically being forced into basically go to the military or anything like that. Unless there's something significant basically were to happen, where they happen, just like basically like World War I and World War II and stuff like that. And and let me I just want people to really just understand. I don't want to get too deep down into that. It's just something that, like I said before, in my country, that we volunteer, but we don't force ourselves that to put people in the line, and just go to war and stuff like that, and stuff. That's what it really kind of reminds me of that. But basically, when you have other different countries basically out there, they really do not have really much of a choice. Do I consider myself a blessed man to be in the United States? I can't really just say that because I was raised much more different than other different people from outside the world or something like that, or outside the United States or whatever it may be is and stuff like that. I may not have the best life. I know you guys may not have the best life. I know some of people that has been raised up by good families or rich families or anything like that. But the point I'm trying to make here is that it's just that seems to me that Ralph seems to be kind of like a very important character basically in this anime. One thing I really want to say here is basically that, and that I'm not saying I don't like his character, but he just doesn't get really that much motivation of himself to really motivation of himself to really to basically do something. And when he's given an order to basically kill somebody, he has no other choice. But he doesn't like the fact that being forced into something that he has to do. But you have to remember, you have to do your job, and you have to just like I said before, basically in the military, we are volunteer. But when it comes to something very strict or something hostile that's affecting our country or whatever's affecting their country, we have the right to strike back, and we have the right to do that because we are given orders. We're given orders to basically just to do that. If we're not doing as what we're supposed to do, then we will be a then some of the people in the military or something like that they will get AWOL. It means they'll probably end up going to military prison because they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing and stuff like that. I want to say this is that any kind of military or anything like that you join, it's going to have stipulations. It's going to have those things where you have to do this, you have to do that, and just other different things. And some of the people who I know, basically in my country, that does take their lives, not their lives, basically just for themselves, but they're on the front lines, basically for their families, for the country, and basically just help to protect their brothers and sisters basically on the battlefield and stuff like that. And that's what it's for. But like I said, I don't want to get too deep down into it because I just didn't like the fact because that woman with the pipe that she's smoking out of the pipe out of that pipe, that's where she just it feels to me that she's forcing Ralph to do this. But even though Ralph doesn't really have much of a choice because I if basically to me basically to me is that I would say, hey, I don't care, throw me out of school or whatever. So I would have just told this woman, it's like, no, I'm not gonna commit murder and just to do that because you're telling me to and stuff like that. Because on top of that, she may seem like she has the orders to basically do that, but she does not have the right to really to tell people to really actually do that. That's something that is very unacceptable to me. Basically in my case, and stuff like that. But I can't speak about for other different countries around the world. Sometimes they are forced to do this, but sometimes they are not. Sometimes they are not. But like I said before, like and like whatever there's an order, it's an order. Is that what we have to do? It doesn't matter what country that you're in. You're supposed to do as what you're supposed to do, and because for one, you're a volunteer means that you volunteer basically in the military. For two, you have to risk yourself. You have to risk yourself every single day, whatever you're doing or something like that, and whatever may happen and stuff. And there's other different areas that they're supposed to do or something like that. I have a friend of mine who works on airplanes. Work on airplanes. He can't tell me what he does basically with his airplanes because he works on them because he's in the military. Because I do respect him really a lot. He's like a brother to me. Man, he really actually is. So he's a real tall guy. I'm not gonna lie. He's a real tall guy. He's really nice because I know him from church and stuff like that. Because like or basically like a cook or basically teaching people arts and basic what they're basically supposed to be doing. But you have to remember when they go like to boot camp because that's basically kind of like the training that they're supposed to do and stuff like that. And just to make sure this is what they were trained for. And because you have to remember training is very important because when it comes to base of situations based like this with Ralph Base, on the other hand, yes, he has gone through training, but this is not like what we have in our country because I know this is just all fiction because basically in an anime and stuff like that. We all know it's just a fiction based off of anime. But the point I'm trying to make here is basically is that yes, she may seem like she's basically like one of the higher ups, basically in basically based around the school, based on what she's supposed to be doing. She's supposed to do her job. If she does not do her job, then it's most likely she's probably going to be taken out, or she's probably going to go to jail because she's not really telling her subordinates the people that supposed to do their jobs and stuff like that. But like I said, basically in my case, if that was basically for me, I say, hey, I don't care. You can throw me out or do whatever you want. I'm not going to do your dirty work for you. You're going to do it yourself, and stuff like that. And because if I were to direct the command of that, then hey, that's fine. Yeah, I mean that's fine. But it's just like I said before, it just feels to me it's just that she forced him based on that situation. But that's why I'm bringing up some of the different things like it kind of reminds me of like basically like I said before, what other different countries that sometimes people are forced to do that, and sometimes in other different countries they are not forced to do that. That's why it's very, very important because basically it did kind of aggravate me kind of really quite a bit because the base of what she did because the base of what she did she shouldn't do this, but even though she did not really have much of a choice basically in the matter. But like I said before, she has a job that she has to do. She has to obligated to do that job. If she didn't do that job, then she would get in trouble. Probably would get in some really serious trouble. Being in the military is not a privilege or anything like that. It's basically it's a thing that they are volunteered to do it. But like I said before, when it comes to other countries, that's a totally different situation. And I definitely do understand it. I don't mean to repeat myself, but I really what I'm saying this is because that's just basically what it is. So I kind of feel bad for Ralph. I really do. I kind of feel really bad for him. But it's just something that really disgusts me. Just basically the woman based about her character, it just based on what she did right there. It just really just gets me very, very upset. And I usually don't get very upset when these kinds of these situations. But the problem that I just see here basically is that I mean he's a young kid. He's probably a teenager. He's probably actually is stuff like that because he may understand some things that some people may not understand or stuff like that. But like I said before, this is just a fictional anime. It's just really actually it's nothing real. But when you see things that you see that are just not like it kind of reminds you of based off real life. That's the reason why I was saying basically above that, and stuff like that. So yeah, anyways, that's it for this video. I hope you guys definitely do understand. I don't mean to ramble long enough here and just preach the whole entire sermon about you or anything like that. But I think it's just very, very important just for people to understand to see that point. Ralph was basically what's in, which is just not right with that lady really that she did. She had no other choice. But like I said before, she has to do her job. But I don't care. I don't care if you have to do your job. You have to do your job. But I just it's something I just something I just didn't like about. That's what it feels to me. So yeah, anyways, tell me what you guys think about the episode. You guys think was good. You guys think it was bad. Yeah, tell me what you guys like about this episode. So anyways, I'll see you guys later. Take care. Hope you have a wonderful day. Don't forget to subscribe. Please consider subscribing. Please hit the like button, give me a thumbs up, and please hit the notification bell also too to let me know you guys watch my videos. Give me a thumbs up or give me a thumbs down. Doesn't matter to me. Or just give me some comments down below. Anyways, I love you guys. Take care. Hope you have a wonderful day. Take care. God bless. Remember, I love you guys. Please stay and remember, stay blessed. Love you guys. Take care. Bye.